I had some pretty amazing experiences the last couple of years. Spent a lot of time in the Grand Teton National Park. I got to witness the Aurora Borealis from the window of a plane for the very first time. And I picked up the Leica Q3, which has changed my approach to photography for the better. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect these three things to collide into one life-changing event. I remember the first time I went to the Tetons, I was just blown away. Like, growing up in England, we're not really used to mountains of that kind of scale, whilst also being really close to civilization. And the accessibility is just absolutely incredible. So as the Tetons were pretty much the pivotal moment of me deciding that I wanted to make photos and to capture these places for a living. The circumstances in my life weren't right at the time, but it was that spark that I needed to kind of push me. And I just love going back. I get fired up every time I go back, no matter what time of the year, whether it's freezing cold in the winter or it's swelteringly hot in the summer. I'm always going back. So when I found out that we were going to be getting a crazy high solar storm, we were originally thinking the salt flats, and then after some encouragement, some of us decided to go a little further north and just kind of risk it. And obviously, naturally, the Tetons were the most prominent area north of Salt Lake within, a 6-hour driving distance. So after I had planned on the Tetons, I had a couple of things to consider. Now, I don't have my only photo camera is the Leica Q3. But when you think Aurora and night sky photos, you don't necessarily think Leica Q3. This isn't astrophotography. Shooting the Aurora is a lot different. You don't have to have your shutter open for as long as you would for photographing the Milky Way. But I was planning ahead of how I was going to capture this. And obviously I have my Sony FX3 as well, which is the same sensor as the A7S III. So I decided to set up my FX3 on a time lapse and just kind of let it run the entire time. And then the Q3, I would just be kind of making some photos that I could use as, as photos, not as a time lapse, as standalone photos. Now I kind of knew the Q3 was going to do well because it's vastly improved over the Q2. It doesn't have any quirks going on like the Q2 did with long exposures. And I had used it obviously with that plain Aurora photo in Iceland and a couple of other Aurora opportunities that I had in Iceland despite having really bad conditions in January. So I kind of put all of my faith and trust in the Leica Q3. So I'm just I didn't film much whilst I was there. I was just so overwhelmed and focused on what was going on and not missing a moment. Like I said, I had the FX3 set up for a time lapse, and my Q3, I was just kind of taking photos here and there, different compositions, and some other shorter time lapses as well. So I didn't really have the opportunity to film this, but the emotions that were going through me were just absolutely unreal. So at first, it was just kind of like some colors in the sky, which in of itself, if that's all I came away with, I'd have been completely happy. But it was around like 11:20, 11:25 when things got absolutely insane. One of the biggest things with time lapse is, it's not just about the visuals, it's also about the audio and the sound effects, and they all kind of work in tandem together to create an emotional feeling and hopefully a connection with you guys watching this video. And obviously a lot of it rests with that sound design. Now this video is sponsored by Artlist. Artlist is the all-in-one platform for content creators. Not only do they have hundreds of thousands of high quality music, but they also have tons of sound effects that can take your sound design to the next level. And then on top of that, their AI-powered search engine makes finding the exact music or sound effects that you need for your film or content so much easier. And it's not just music and sound effects that Artlist offers. Sometimes as filmmakers, we know how it is. You may not always get the shot, or you just need one extra piece of footage to make things complete. and Artlist offers thousands of high-quality stock footage that can take your content to the next level. The best thing about it is that Artlist offers subscriptions for any type of creator to fit any type of budget. So you can kind of pick and choose what's going to fit best with you. And then to top it off, if you sign up for a 12-month subscription with a link in the description down below, Artlist will give you an extra 2 months for free on top of that. And if you want to subscribe to Motion Array, with the link down below, you can get $50 off your Motion Array subscription as well. So definitely check out artlist.io to elevate your filmmaking and take it to the next level. In a couple of years' time, I'm going to look back on these photos and it's going to hit me that, holy crap, I was actually in the Tetons during this once-in-a-lifetime event and I was able to capture them. And all thanks to the Leica Q3 being incredibly versatile. And my faith was well put in the end. I think all things considered, I was thoroughly impressed with the Q3 and how it handled not only the low light performance in of itself, but the shadow retention as well. When I was comparing side by side to the FX3, the Q3 definitely came out ahead in those photos. So bottom line is, this was just an incredible experience. And I think the biggest takeaway from this is that if you have an opportunity, just go for it. Like photography, this is what I love about it. It's rejuvenating. It gives me vitality, and I'm able to share these experiences with my family. I was able to bring my son and my wife with me. Obviously, you know, our kid's just 3 years old, so he wasn't up, you know, at that time witnessing that. But, you know, he was there and he had such a great time, and we did a lot of stops on the way where he could just get out and explore. And that's probably my biggest takeaway from this. I'm able to share these experiences and these trips and these memories with my family as well. And that's what I freaking love about photography. It gets everyone outside and gets everyone enjoying these special places and these incredible moments.